Boom! We are off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy. He knows the ups and downs of the elevator business. It's Zach Elias. What's up, buddy?
That I do. I've never taken an elevator ride with your mother.
You dropped that last week. I wasn't quite sure. Who is the elevator business? The guy? Is that his business?
Alicia Otis. I don't know.
Who?
Elevator. He invented the elevator.
Is that why it says Otis?
Yes.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. We're doing these things live Tuesday, Saturday.
Look away.
Saturday we post everything. We're back on our normal schedule. Thanks for people who come, join, hang out on our YouTube, on our Facebook. Ron Katz shared our episode today being like, he's kissing some ass right now because
he's really got to get involved. Yeah, you've got another Ron. He's got to show some game.
Got a good story about my new Ron. But I'm excited for today's episode. I hit the wrong button. Wow. Episode 128. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Zach, what does that mean when I say that to you?
I don't know, but I've already got the giggles at the 110 mark. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. That means nothing. Either you're coming on stage and making a fire announcement, or you're hitting on a large group of people.
Zach, why don't you tell everybody what we are drinking for tonight's episode?
We are drinking from the Elysian Brewing Company Altered Contact Tart IPA. And I am going to look like that guy upon first sip.
I'm excited about this. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty, Zach.
Yeah, there's a lot of goyishi ones still in there. This has got notes of orange, tangerine, mango, and pineapple. There's no turning back now. They're telling you what I'm getting. I guess there's no turning back now. But I do like those fruits.
Shout out to our girls, the Feelings podcast out in Walla Walla, Washington.
What are they up to?
I don't know, but this is Seattle, Washington. I thought it was a shout out.
Oh, I like them.
Do you still listen to that podcast?
From time to time. I get through about a half an episode and then, hopefully don't slip my wrists.
I couldn't get through our episode.
I thought our episode was good.
Release the cricket.
I don't know. They do it for me. I got news for you. If I was ever out there, I'd probably shoot them an email just to grab strong coffee in Seattle in real time or in real life.
I don't hate this beer.
This isn't beer.
No, it tastes more like wine, right?
It's wine.
No.
Bottoms up. But it's wine, but I don't hate it. But it's not beer. Wine.
Episode 128.
We got to invent wine.
Zach, there's only one thing that should come to your mind when you hear or see, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. And it is the typical, maybe I'll do it with a different cadence. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen.
The guys on the subway?
There it is!
No football team, the St. Finot basketball team?
No, those are the little kids.
It's the same thing.
It is.
They do it too.
I was referring more towards the homeless guy. I would even go as far to say that phrase might be the most iconic New York City phrase.
So how should they open?
I don't know. Get an MC?
Give me money?
2-drink minimum? I don't know. Start off with something.
If they sold beer, they would actually make a fortune. Just beer on the subway.
They do that in Central Park. I don't think you're allowed to sell beer.
You're allowed to do half the shit people do on the subway.
Zach, I was in the city last night, and I have a feeling Manhattan is coming back because there was an invite asked. Last week, I said, do you want to come out? I went to watch hockey. You knew this, and you were invited.
Oh, that game, I would have left in the first. Rangers got their tits lit. I mean, I could have played goalie at that point.
It was really bad. They let the guy finish the second period. He gave up another one right before the hat.
It was like 3 goals in 8 seconds. Take a piss and the game is over. That was bad news.
But Zach, on my train ride into the city, or at least train ride out of the city, there was a homeless guy begging for money. No mask, no anything. It just made me go, I think we're almost getting back to normal.
I wonder what they make. Your average homeless guy, what do you think he pulls in? What do you think he clears? $10,000 a year? He works an 8-hour shift, 40-hour work week.
Have you ever seen the guy, not to make fun of him, but he doesn't have anything from the elbow down and he holds a sign? Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
So it's a nice young Hispanic kid who he basically has a nub right past the elbow on both arms. He has a backpack in the front. He holds a sign that gives an explanation in English and in Spanish. And people come up, open his zipper, and put money in. Yeah, I knew you would say that. And I saw him one time on the 49th the 59th Street Columbus station, and he was doing his thing, and then I got into the local for whatever reason, and another beggar comes in and starts telling this guy's life story. Oh, you see that guy? He's got prosthetics at home. Guy clears a ton of money every year.
There's a guy who used to walk the A train, and he was a thing. He always walked barefoot on the train, and it was gross. It turns out I saw him one time. I was at the front of the car prepping for his act. He has shoes. He just leaves them in the front car under the thing and then goes barefoot for effect. It's all show. It's all smoke and mirrors.
My first trip ever to New York City, when I came up to visit my college girlfriend, and we're in Penn Station, and her younger brother, who's a little bit of an SJW, there's all these homeless people out there. And I don't know why on the train ride home, I said, if these guys were a little funnier, I might give them some money. And he was very upset at what I was saying. I was just thinking, provide me with the service and we can go from there.
Why should we give them money for just being? Shouldn't they entertain for cash?
Well, problem is...
By the way, what's going on behind you? It sounds like you're on the train right now.
I have no idea. Hands are up. I don't hear. I think that's your speakers.
There's nothing going on here. It's me and a dormant cat.
Give it a second. She'll start eating in a minute.
She'll start eating.
So I had that idea. Little did you know, there is a guy, a nice tall gentleman who has an act. He does a tight 2.5. I got stuck all the time. It's the same 3 jokes. That's the problem, is when you see a comedian in a club or this guy on the 2 Express train, it's the same, my girlfriend wants designer clothes. I tell her I wear designer clothes. This is from Washington Square Park. This is from Central Park. Like, the guy just goes on. He talks about the very first time it was funny, didn't give him anything, which kind of goes back to my original, I would give them something for that. But I just thought to myself, like, it worked for me, but it didn't.
That's why the Phillies ball girl, apparently from the 80s, was so spectacular. Apparently, on the road visitors, on the visitors' side dugout, there was a ball girl who was an aspiring comedian in Philadelphia.
You've told this story on air before.
Yeah, and she never repeated a joke. That was the whole thing. She was filthy, but never repeated. So, he's got to come up with shtick. He's got to come up with an act.
How do you deflect them when they come? I don't know if that's even the right word.
You just give them no, or...
I don't know when I started saying no thank you. That generally works, but lately they get too in my face. They get too close to me. I started putting my hand out. And I've gotten don't put your hand in my face. I'm like, don't ask me for money.
You put your face in my face. My hand is worse. Like, what are we? But then you engage the lunatic, and that's a problem, because then...
I generally are just like, no, like that.
I never want to engage. The only guys I consider engaging sometimes just for the sheer fun of it are the real Jesus fanatics. The ones who are reading the Bible and say everything because Jesus said so. I really want to go, how do you know? I just dive in, just throw a grenade and walk away. I don't, because God knows I'll end up being probably converted. I'll be 3 cars down doing the same shtick. But just why read me the Bible? Why? On the subway.
I had a guy one time.
Rave and ask for money, that's fine. But why the Bible?
What do you want him to have original content?
No, why not X-Men? What's the difference at that point?
I was on a train once with a coworker, and we were talking, and it was a really loud train, and him and I are standing pretty close, and we're loud, and a guy comes in from the car to start doing his spiel, and he struggled to get through his act. Essentially, we were heckling him because me and my coworker, his name was Mike, and the guy couldn't get his thoughts together because we were right in his ear just talking about life, and finally he turns and he goes, "Can you guys keep it down, please?" Which I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Of course, by the way, yeah, sure, I'm not getting stabbed on this train ride. I
might have said, you know what? Show me the knife.
Zach, it's come to my attention that we give a lot of grief to one of our buddies on this podcast, the rotund one, if you will. I have a story about him that I want to give him.
Rebound?
A rebound? What's he rebounding from?
His nickname.
I know what he is, but your boy Eric's not rebounding from other than a Big Mac. So him and I are walking to Penn Station a couple weeks ago, and we stop in the pizza place. And as we get ready to go in, he goes to open the door about halfway, and a homeless guy comes up and just starts giving us the whole speech. And Eric let this guy ramble for realistically 30 seconds, which is an eternity. It was so long. And he lets him go on, and then the guy says, "If you could spare some money," and Eric just goes, "No," or something to that effect, and walks in. And I get inside and I go, "Dude, why did you let him go on and on and on?" He said, if I was waiting to see what he wanted. If he would have said, "Can you buy me a slice of pizza?" I would have. He goes, "But I'm just not going to give money to somebody like this." And for the first time ever, I was like,
That's not bad.
that was a real. It doesn't. I'm not buying the guy a slice of pizza or anything. It doesn't matter for me.
But, the ask is key. I give guys more credit when they ask like $20 than like any change. Like $20, he's shooting a shot. He's got something to
negotiate.
It's a jumping off point. Where do you jump off if he's asking for a dime?
My dad had that.
I mean, since the 90s.
One time, my dad was walking to a restaurant in downtown Baltimore, and a guy came in and said something like, "Excuse me, sir, do you have $10?" And my dad goes, "What is this, inflation?" Like, he also said, "I remember when you people used to ask for a quarter," which also was not good. I wasn't there for this. This is a story he tells. But shout out to your boy, because that was a time that I just went, wow, that was really, really, really nice of him.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of, not for them, but in general, what's the ask here? What do you want to know? What do you want? I ask it all the time at work. Just what's the ask? What's your end game?
Zach, you didn't wish me a happy Mother's Day.
You have yet to give birth.
That you know of.
But go on.
No, I was curious how your Mother's Day went.
It went fine. You can see the picture on Facebook. My mom and Jenna and us and Zoe all went to the playground. We pushed her on a swing. We had a good time.
Do you get your wife anything for Mother's Day?
Yeah.
No,
I got her a card. That's enough.
From you or from Zoe or from every?
So we have a thing in our family, Jenna and I. The goal on every holiday is to try to find a pig card. Don't analyze it. It's just
128 episodes. We're just finding this out.
Yeah, so we have a pig. We have a pig fetish. You've probably seen the Maxwell pig little thing we bought.
No, I'm usually sneezing in your house because of the cat.
Cool. Anyway, we have a pig thing. So, Jenna loves pigs, and it's the whole thing. So the goal is to always try to get a pig card. The funnier, the better. I just want them to spend $10 on possibly the funniest card ever, where you blow in a pig's mouth and it moves and sings. Valentine's Day and Mother's Day are tricky. And birthday pig cards are easy. But I found a great one with a pig on it. So that's the goal. That's the challenge of it, of the whole holiday.
Do me a favor. Take a picture and send it to me. I'll be more than happy to post it on the BYD website for you.
Not a problem. It's got other animals too, but the pig is key. The pig is paramount. And she does it for me too. And now Zoe's getting involved. It's a stupid game we made up, but we've been doing it for roughly 20 years. So, there's that.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a lot of pig games. You go. When you get married, as long as we have, you got to keep it spicy, or at least keep it.
That's how you spice it up.
We keep it barnyard.
I'd rather actual bacon. Just here you go, bacon.
Happy Father's Day. Here's 8 pounds of bacon.
Say I won't.
8 pounds.
How? But it basically it cooks down to like 3 slices.
Sure, it does. God.
Keep it porky, Ron Katz.
Exactly. That's probably that guy. He should buy it for Hallmark. He's pretty good.
Speaking of pictures, I posted on the site, or at least our Facebook page, Playboy. What'd you think of those slippers?
Fantastic. You own those?
I wish. I was at a patient's house, and you have to take your shoes off by the door, and he has just
Japanese?
He was Indian, actually, Indian.
Like Apache?
Dot, not feather.
There it is.
So I took those. I was like, oh my God, Zach is going to love these. Although,
where did he get them? They're so good.
I couldn't ask. Him and I have kind of a rocky relationship, so it's like, he's not doing that well. Sometimes I go see people who are kind of, doing the nice surf out of the room type of deal.
So he's not doing so hot?
I could get into it, but I don't want to. But he's a nice enough guy. So
is he going to be here to listen next week? 50-50?
Not 50-50. Better than 50-50, but he will not be making our 10-year reunion. Let's just say that. Of this show.
Oh.
So I had a Playboy robe when I was in high school. True story. I bought
the logo.
I bought it from Playboy. It had the logo on the front, big logo on the back. Now I've never really used
How'd you afford that in high school.
Oh, it was from Playboy.com. It was $40. It was meant to be like a robe you wear coming out of the shower, not a velvet Hugh Hefner robe.
Still, would you pay all in Camel Cash?
You remember Camel Cash? So I guess
1,000 packs get you a tote bag.
I don't know if I know how to use a robe because I used to put it on directly coming out of the shower. I'd get down to my room and I'm soaking wet
Yeah, you
wearing a
gotta
wet
dry it
towel.
off first. I'm a big
Then
robe
what's
guy.
the point of it?
Big robe guy.
What's the point of having it?
To let yourself swing.
I swing, baby. Don't worry about that.
Not when you're all constricted in your MeUndies. Those things hug everything. A robe lets your freak flag fly.
Not me.
Big robe guy. I've got a summer and winter robe.
Oh my God.
This is truth, honey. This is my therapy.
This is your therapy.
This is my therapy. It all comes out here. I remember one time you sent it like on a text to Eric. He goes, "Hey, why is that you?" Oh, dynamite. He goes, "Zach, 7,000 horrible things, but not a liar." Just,
did I say that?
Yeah, you did. Lies are too hard to remember.
There's true. I've heard that before. Zach, my Mother's Day, I was working all week and I figured why not start doing stuff. I wake up in the morning after I watch UFC on Saturday night, so I was a little tired, a little groggy. I text my mother, "Happy Mother's Day." She responds immediately, "Unacceptable."
What?
I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Next
So
year I'm texting her.
as the day goes on, I call her and, I was working, so I call her towards the end of the day and we chat about next to nothing. And you're supposed to call every kind of mother in your life. And my bubby, as I call her, I didn't get to. Here's the reason.
Did you watch the Die Hard? Hans, Bubby, he says it right.
I actually asked a patient, and you can say it like a million different ways, so it kind of doesn't matter.
No, you can't. Who, the Indian guy with the Playboy slippers? What did he know?
That's not my source.
Okay, go on.
But I thought about calling my bubby, but here's the problem. One, she can't hear for nothing on the phone. She doesn't have a hearing aid, and it's really bad. Two, her memory is piss poor. So I just thought to myself, does it really matter? But I call my mom, I talk to her,
graces.
and she says to me, I said to her, I called my mom, and I get ready to tell her, confess, if you will, that I didn't call my bubby for Mother's Day. And she says to me, Bubby called and said that everybody called her except for like somebody else. I said, even me? She goes, yeah. I was like, I'll take the credit.
Wow.
I got credit for not calling my grandmother on Mother's Day.
That's pretty good. I still object. I'm one of these waspy Jews that believes in social graces. I'm part Rhode Island.
I was just like, all right.
I called Gigi. She knew. Know what's doing. Anita.
How's she doing?
She's doing well. Yeah, we spoke on Mother's Day.
So, Zach, my new Ron this guy's great. Okay. He's not as good as old Ron, but he's good in a different way. So I'm going to see this guy at his home. The guy is retired. He's got a great sound system, loves classic rock, and we're doing physical therapy on his back patio, on his back deck. So he puts the music on, and it's just blaring because he controls it from, the basement. So he comes upstairs, and he never knows really.
Jew bagels rocking out to Kiss.
So he has the Doors on, which the Doors is the one band that my father and I agree on, which I love the Doors. And Riders on the Storm is just blaring out the back of this house. And I am digging it. And he comes upstairs and I see him for the first time. And I look at him and I go, Father, yes, son, I want to kill you. Which I don't know if you get the reference from the song. There's a whole part where Jim Morrison is just hopped up on all the heroin and goes into this rant. This guy, New Ron, looks at me and goes, how do you know this shit? I was like, I love you. This is great, Ron.
It's pretty good.
Oh, Zach, we are bringing back pishadoo of. Actually, we've been doing pishadoo of the week.
It's never left.
Pishadoo of the week, Zach. I got a couple of candidates here.
And yes, the cat is eating.
You what? Of course, the cat is eating.
No, she knows. Torture you. Good.
All right. I think I got 8 candidates here, but why don't we start?
3.
Why don't we start off first with a little bit of fire? Because you might win Pishadoo of the Week. Your red ass last week was all about pitchers not finishing games and everything that happens with, back in my day, Nolan Ryan used to go this and that. Well, boy, did I get a text calling you out from Timothy Tyler.
Fuck him.
Also, for his rant about the pitch count, yes, pitchers have gotten soft, but the investment in pitchers is too high to risk. Also, because of the shorting training camp, pitchers are still stretching out their arms.
Oh, what bunch of babies. They used to get drunk all off season. They need to stretch. And you know what? It's not his money. What does he care? No. I call him. I counter Pishadoo.
With what? You didn't say anything.
Be him. What the hell does he care? Oh, he's the Pishadoo. I'm countering because it's not his money, and these pitchers should be fine. They're 25-year-old little arms need to stretch out.
You can't
Shortened
triple
off
stamp a
season.
double stamp. What are you doing?
I just did. These guys used to be fall down drunks and then show up to games. You don't need to stretch out anything. Just go do it.
I'll give you something to stretch.
Stretch before I go to work.
Maybe you should.
Maybe I should.
Candidate number 2. Recent study came out saying that kids that were raised vegetarian grow up malnourished and underweight.
Shocking.
So I heard this news report. I was like, you don't say.
Yeah, I'll eat a steak or some war paint when you eat.
Zach, keeping it crunchy. I have had the best week ever because I am a single man all week because Julia is in San Francisco visiting one of her best friends just because she wants to go see her. They want to do like the dress shopping bullshit, whatever. And in San Francisco, this girl is a little bit on the hippy dippy side, reducing your carbon footprint. She's lovely. I love this girl, but she's all about that. She's divorced with a kid. You're all set.
Picture.
And all about conserving energy. And so, there's a time difference. So this morning around, 10, 11, I text her. I was like, hey, time to get up. Julia says, I've been up for hours. I'm like, why? She goes, she keeps his house at 59 degrees. And Zach,
sharp nips.
I like it cold. 59 is fucking freezing. That is like freezing.
I'm in a sweatshirt. I'm freezing in my house.
It's 69 in my house right now, and I'm sweating. So I generally sleep 67, 68. She says 59, and I'm like, what are you wearing? Julia says 2 sweatshirts. She has her Ugg boots on and a heater. And I by the way, I used some words in this conversation that she was like, take it easy on my friend here. But the truth is, I'm like, why? And she says she's trying to reduce her energy cost expenditure, but not money, but the actual, like, the way the planet.
I get it.
I heard 59 degrees.
Burning coal to counteract it and said, listen, if she's going to keep it that way, I'm going fossil fuel. I'm going old school.
Candidate number 4. Leonardo DiCaprio is trying to do good in the world and heal the rainforest, save the rainforest and the Amazon. The Brazilian president, I couldn't name him, said, shut up and act. He was like, keep your nose out of our business. We don't care what you think.
I like that.
So burn the rainforest, let Leo act.
I don't think burn the rainforest, but shut up and act. Like, everyone just stick to your lane. Don't get out. Don't start being an activist because you've got a platform, unless you know what you're talking about. What some of these guys do, because they've never got educated. They're just woke. So, yeah.
Joanne said,
I'm siding with the dictator.
In California, they send you an electric bill, how much energy you use. Okay, cool. So they keep track of it, and you pay for it, but who cares?
Doesn't Con Ed do the same thing? I don't know. My house has 2 temperatures, scalding and freezing. It's city heat.
Candidate number 5. I'm not sure when Burger King took the Whopper off the menu or off the 2 for $5 menu, but they're bringing it back. That's the big thing that they're doing. You're Burger King. You are 8 notches below McDonald's. Why would you ever mess with the one thing that works for you?
I barely knew there was still a thing. It's been such a fast fall from grace. They used to be
Agreed.
2, and then it's just, Checkers is ahead of them.
We haven't done a ranking of fast food restaurants, have we?
No, I'm not a big fast food guy. I could get you there, but it's going to be pretty boring.
We'll keep that in the back of our head for a later date. But the truth is, Zach, Burger King, their barbecue sauce is very high on my list, but if I was at a rest stop and it was Burger King and I could make another type of fast food appear, I'm not sure which one I would pick Burger King over. Like, it would be really low on my list. Really low. So I heard that.
Does Blimpie count as fast food? Because Blimpie is underrated. Dynamite stuff.
The Blimpie's good.
Blimpie is good. Really thin turkey, and they cut the sandwich like a little triangle.
Oh, and the salt and that's the old way. Yeah, it's fantastic. Zach, baseball is back in season. Fantasy baseball is going. I heard a saying the other day, which it's really getting on my nerves. I don't know if you know in hockey, a Gordie Howe hat trick is a goal, an assist, and a penalty. Or I'm sorry, a goal, assist, and a fight all in one game. A Gordie Howe hat trick. Okay. They're trying to make this saying in baseball. It's called a sock and a shoe, and it's when you sock a home run and you steal a base.
Hate it.
Despise.
It's stupid. It's contrived and forced.
Stop trying to make fetch happen. Sock and a shoe? That's so stupid.
No, I don't like it.
All right.
I really don't like it.
Candidate number 7. The Taliban have set out on, they're making a decree because women are not doing a good job covering their faces.
So hold on a second. There's a possibility I'm going to pick a sock and a shoe over the Taliban? Go on.
At 59 degrees? Or a guy who just called you out?
No, I called him out and countered him.
The Taliban is making the women really focus on covering their faces a certain way. I don't know if the women are just not doing a good enough job, which is, the whole thing is absurd, but the way they're doing it is bringing their husbands in and having a stern talking to, which I assume is, you're getting killed or we're killing you right now. Like one of those things.
Said Stern. I thought I heard like Howard Stern. I thought it was being a lineup of wives. Can you pick your wife?
We should do that.
That's a great game show. All you get to see is this.
They've definitely done that with with boobs or something. I feel like I've seen that before,
but not with a burqa.
Would Jenna recognize your schwanz?
I don't know. Yeah, it's the little one.
I'm gonna send her a couple and see if she can figure it out, and a pig one too.
Yeah, especially spoiler alert, it's not the Mandingo with Aunt Marlene.
Ooh, fun fact! Did you know that pigs' wieners are corkscrews?
They are not.
I can't make this up, Zach.
You just did.
Google it. You owe me.
There's no way I'm Googling pig penis on my phone.
I'll do it when you're talking next.
People are watching.
And candidate number 8. I received a text over the weekend that started off, I just pegged a guy. Do you know what pegging is?
There was more to it than that.
Wait, do you know what pegging is?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess I don't have any more context, and I don't think we need to explain.
There's a lot more context.
The context was you pegged a guy. You pegged a guy
with a ball, not with a.
2 of them even.
You only saw a snippet. Well,
so did he.
I threw a basketball at a teenager. I possibly committed assault, but it had to be done. He almost hit Zoe with the ball.
What an ass! You think he did it on purpose?
The guy had meat hooks for hands. And he kept missing the whole thing. They were trying to film something on YouTube, because that's what people do. He was like 18 and the little. Anyway, he was at the kids' swings, and like Zoe was just having a time of her life, and he throwing balls and kept almost hitting her. And enough was enough. Time's up. Yeah,
that's not what that means.
It was that day when you're on the business end of it.
Time's up is like
he could have caught it. He just didn't because he's not coordinated. He's gonna go home and play King Lear.
Oh my god! All right, Zach, we got Timmy coming out for you. Vegetarian kids being underweight. Julia sleeping in 59-degree weather. Leo and the Brazilian rainforest. Burger King going back to the Whopper because they deferred. A sock and a shoe. Taliban decree for women to cover their faces. And Zach, quote, I just pegged a guy.
Vegetarian kids being underweight. So, ridiculous. That's my vote.
Your reaction was great. You were like, you don't say.
Right out of town.
100%.
It's insane.
Zach, we're going back to trivia this week. So I don't know if you've heard, but in the news, there is the biggest kept secret because all we want to talk about is Russia and whatnot and the cost of gas, which is called. There is a major, major problem with baby formula right now. Have you heard about this? It's really bad. Some of it got tainted. There is a shortage right now that there is a black market on Facebook that people are going to buy baby formula. It is really, really bad.
We got to get in on that.
So today I am going to be testing your knowledge on the opposite, breastfeeding. I assume you're familiar.
I have not done it.
Neither have I.
But I've seen it done.
This is not how that works. You can't be like, oh, I've seen that done on YouTube. I know how to build an engine.
Yeah.
True story. Skittlebomb, who is Kenny Myhart's ex-wife, when she was breastfeeding, she was out one night. We're out drinking when we're playing dodgeball, so she had to pump, right? You know, pump and dump, not just the. So she's pumping it, let it go. I think it might have been a manual. This is like 10 years ago. She's just sitting there. And next you know, all this milk comes out. And I don't know who said something. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's not bad. Do you want some? And Zach, I couldn't have ran away fast enough from that table. I was like, I'm not drinking your breast milk. I don't think I'll ever do that. Like, I am really, really good.
Nope, never.
Question number 1. Oh, by the way, these are all true false, just to make your life a little easier.
Oh, God.
Question the first. True or false? Formula-fed babies are healthier because formula is sterile and chemically balanced.
That noise false.
False is correct. In general, breastfeed babies are healthier. Breast milk contains antibodies that help fight disease.
It does. It makes
Question.
you smarter, apparently, too.
Question the second. True or false? Breastfeeding benefits you and speeds postpartum recovery.
I don't know if that's the answer is gonna be true, but I don't buy into that new age stuff.
Answer is true. 2 for 2. Breastfeeding helps your uterus return to its non-pregnant size. Also,
uterus?
I assume this was not meant for you and I. That's just what makes it so great.
Go on.
True or false? Nursing less than 5 minutes at a time helps prevent sore nipples.
Oh wait, I thought the uterus was one of them too. That was just a fun fact?
Yeah, they threw in an extra one.
Okay. What was the question?
True or false? Nursing less than 5 minutes at a time helps prevent sore nipples.
I don't know. False. They didn't latch onto that thing. It hurts.
Correct answer is false. Now, I'm going to struggle to read this because when I copied and pasted it, I got like 2 letters per line. So I have poor positioning causes sore nipples. Breastfed babies should nurse 10 to 20 minutes per breast. Nursing for less time can decrease milk production. I'm not going with the rest of this.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. True or false? Breastfed babies should be weaned when the first teeth appear.
I mean, I would say true, but I'm not sure they should still be breastfeeding at that point. If they can, but I would say true.
Correct answer is false, and it messed up the thing again, but I read this and it basically said many babies nurse up to the ages of like 3 and 4.
Oh, no, that's some weird stuff. I knew someone who did a former friend of Jenna's that's probably still doing it right now. Kid's like 9.
What movie is that, Grown Ups, when he's like, how old is your son? When he's breastfeeding, he goes, oh, he's 56 months.
Yeah.
All right, and last one, true or false? If you get a cold or the flu, you should stop breastfeeding.
False.
Correct answer is false. Well done, Zach. Apparently, breast milk has all types of antibodies and blah, blah, blah in it. I got 1 letter per line. I'm not reading this. But, Zach, 4 for 5 on breastfeeding. You sure know your bigums, huh?
I sure do. Jugs.
All right, Zach. Anything left to say for you?
I mean, I was going to go on a you rant about relegation, but I can't follow breastfeeding with why teams in football should be relegated. We'll do that next week.
Next week, relegation. Love it.
But I love relegation.
All right, people. Thanks for watching this episode. This one was a little different than some of the other ones. We'll get back to giving people the red ass next week. Thanks for watching.
Red ass.
Share, download, subscribe. We appreciate the love and support. And
we got to get a Ron off. Both Rons on here. 2 cameras.
I don't think my Ron, new Ron, knows about this show.
Then you got to get him in. Or that he's not really new Ron. He's just Ron. For him to truly be new Ron, he'd have to know about this and then confront old Ron.
New Ron the other day was talking about his daughter, and he was basically like, oh, she's turned into her mother. It was great.
How old is she?
Engaged.
Picture.
We out.